All right, we're gonna do some Sunday. My granddaughter's here. She just ate a big breakfast. She gets an hour of computer time, and she's choosing to use that hour on Pokemon, and she does not want to. She doesn't seem to want to watch my tardigrade friend here. And yeah, I have him on a little sturdier desk, but it's still got some shaking in it when I focus. So just bear with me. I do have some other things on here also. Some Aliosoma, some Spirostonum, some Spirogyra algae. Let's see what else we got on here. So he's right about there. I'm gonna search. I'm gonna do a little search here of my slide from one side to the. That's a Spirostonum. That's a single-celled creature right there. And you can see he's right at the edge of the world. Look, that little line right there is between his water world and the edge of my world. So he wants to cross over, but he can't. He's interested though. Come on to the dark side. Come over here to the air breathers. Almost looks like a needle, doesn't it? That's how you tell a Spirostonum. They have that little vacuole thing in the back of them. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tracy, did you get a notification? I'm just trying to see how my YouTube works here. See if people, because on Reddit, I know they don't get notifications. And what this is a Spirostonum examining the edge of his water world right there. That line is the between water and land. So looks like he's actually interested in what's on the other side. Vast autistic. Let me check my stats on. I want to see how good my feed is. Yeah, I'm getting a good bit rate up to Reddit, 5,300. So that's good. So we're not going to have any trouble with my feed cutting in and out. You can see the cilia on him. Her, it. So let's see what else we got here. I'm gonna scan over some more. And this is how you find things. You just kind of scan up and down the slide till you see something moving. There's an amoeba right there. We'll come back to him later. Right there. Looks like he might have just had a meal, so he's staying still. There's a couple of amoeba on here. There's a tardigrade down there. No, that's an amoeba. That's an amoeba. Hey, thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Panacea. Yeah, that's an amoeba that's shaped like a tardigrade. Threw me off for a second. More amoeba. That is a euplotes going in circles. This is a decent looking amoeba here, see? So you can actually see this amoeba is on the move here. Hey, hey Brooks. Good morning. Yeah, I just came in from the yard with my granddaughter. We were running around out there for about an hour. She wore me out. She gets her computer for an hour on and maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours off. Because if you don't do that with her, she'll get immersed in it. So I got about an hour and 15 minutes here to stream, and then we're going to go outside again. And got 3 viewers on YouTube. So basically, if those 3 viewers stay an hour, that's 3 hours. So you can see how it adds up. If I can get 1/20th of the people that go to Reddit to go to YouTube, I'd have 4,000 hours in one sitting. So I'm going to try to guide people from Reddit over to my YouTube channel. Because just say if you have 500 viewers on YouTube and they watch for an hour, I mean, that's 500 hours. All you need is 4,000 hours to get the chance to get monetized, and at least you make a few pennies off your videos. Hey, Lena. This is an amoeba. This is the edge of amoeba. See how he moves? And pretty close up. This is about 500 times the size. So yeah, I takes off and I start getting a few hundred people in there. I'll post the link, and it does work. People do go over to YouTube, so that's good. So you can see how amoebas move. Cytoplasmic streaming, it's called. And it's all genetic. They don't have a brain, so there's really nothing controlling this except that one big cell. I don't even think they sense. I think when they get really close to something, they might be able to sense it's there. So it is about 400 times the size of the amoeba right here. And that thing right there just looks like a, yeah, I think I have I think I have a tardigrade on here somewhere, but he was in some algae, so I'll go get him in a little while, see if he moved out the way. Look at the amoebas pushing this thing out the way. And you see, they know if that thing had any nutritional value at all, that amoeba would try to engulf it. But I don't know how it knows, but it does. What I'm gonna do, let me see if I can find a tardigrade on here. I'm gonna go to low power. So now you can see this amoeba right here is at 40 times right here. How many new subscribers have you gotten within the last couple of? I've gotten hundreds of subscribers in the last few broadcasts, maybe 300 or 400 in the last 3 days. But what happens is I'm already over the threshold of 1,000 subscribers. So that threshold's met. The new threshold I got to get to is 4,000 viewing hours in the last 365 days. So last February 19th, February 20th falls off today. So let's say if I had 100, I'm just going to estimate 100 hours last February. And then today I get 110 hours, okay, then that's a plus of only 10 hours, not 110. So you see how that works. So that's why it's important to keep getting viewers. You know, that right there is a hookworm. I know y'all heard about hookworms, right? These are the things that get in your dogs and even people, and they enter their cysts, their eggs, I guess. Not really their eggs, but their cyst state enters through people and dogs' feet, I believe. Surely through human feet and skin. If you swallow a hookworm, your stomach acids will kill it. So what this hookworm does, it's a cycle. It's in some creatures' intestines. It lays eggs. Let's see, the eggs hatch. Oh boy, I forgot. But they go into the dirt, and then somehow you step on them, and they go into your feet. It's a cyst. I'm not sure it's eggs. I have to read about it. They go into your feet, they get in your bloodstream, then they go to your intestines, and then they lay more eggs, and the worm actually grows in your intestine, and then you poop out the eggs, and somebody else comes and steps on them. So this is a beast right here. This hookworm probably killed more people than, well, I know it did. Hookworms kill more people than coronavirus in the world. Let's go ahead and look for some more pleasant things. There is a tardigrade on here, but he was mixed up in some algae, and there he is right there. So there's the tardigrade. Looks like that's one tardigrade egg right there to the left that somehow got out of its. No, it's still in its protective. You could barely see the outline of the skin of that one tardigrade egg. So it's unusual to see one, but there it is. And I got to keep focusing this because the water is about a milliliter, not a milliliter, about a tenth of a milliliter deep, but it's deep enough to give me some jiggle and make it go out of focus. So if you're on Reddit, if you could jump over, I'm gonna get my link on YouTube, and if you could jump over to YouTube and watch, it would really help me out here. So let's see. And for some reason, I tried to do YouTube in landscape mode today, and it wouldn't let me. So I got to figure that one out. Okay, so here's my YouTube. Here's the link on Reddit to my YouTube video. It's the same video. I think you get less of a delay on it. And if you go over to YouTube, I get some viewing time on YouTube, which really helps me out in the long run. And I got to tell you, did you get a new, more stable table? Are you on the floor again? No, I'm actually moved. I moved my microscope into what we call the office in here, and it is on a slightly more stable table, but it still shakes. You see it? But not as much as that card table I have in the garage. The floor is the most stable. But I'm focusing right now, and you can see it's not getting too much motion. When I'm on that card table in my garage, it's just horrible. So I'm not going to stream from that anymore. And Reddit's a funny beast. You know, you'll have 20,000 people looking at a kitty cat, and I'll get about 10 viewers in an hour. Then all of a sudden the kitty cat video will go off the air. And I guess if you're lucky, yours comes up next in the feed. And if people see this tardigrade, they flock over, and I get thousands of viewers. So let's see what happens in the next hour. Yeah, you can see over here that is tardigrade eggs. Well, it's one tardigrade egg right there. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit on. I'm gonna go to 440x. I mean, 150x here. Hold on. And when you zoom in, you get more shake. So he's looking right at the camera. And I'm always focusing this. I don't put a cover slide on here, and I don't let the water dry up so it doesn't shake. Because when you put a cover slide, it'll, as the water evaporates, it'll start squishing everything, and I don't really like that. Now, if you need some real good photography, if you need to take real good pictures of stuff, you need a cover slide. So there you go. So you got one tardigrade and one egg. Kind of happy to see eggs. Every time I pull one out of here, out of my little sample, I do tend to find some eggs. So that means they are doing a pretty good job of reproducing, I guess. And that'd be great. If they can reproduce and I keep my water clean and bacteria, well, not bacteria free, but clean enough for an environment for these guys to thrive, that would be great. The trick is trying to keep the worms out, you know, big flatworms, planarian, Aleosoma, things like that. They'll eat these things. When I found you the other day, I was scrolling through and Reddit. So I saw your tardigrade and said, "What the heck is that?" And then you mentioned your YouTube channel. Yeah, there you go. You saw the tardigrade and said, "What the heck is that?" I'm surprised. A lot of people, when they first get to the stream, if they never seen me before, they know what a tardigrade is. Say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing a tardigrade in real life." And some people don't know what it is. They totally perplexed. They never heard of them before. But I gotta say, most of the people that come know or seem to know what tardigrades are, which is good for science. Yeah, it seems like YouTube is better because that's what YouTube is. It's for videos. And it was made for videos. They got it, they got it locked down for videos. So what happens is Reddit, this RPAN stuff is just an afterthought. So it's not really refined yet. So you get a little better experience on YouTube. Although I did go to YouTube today, like I'm on it now, and I tried to do a landscape like you requested, but for some reason it made me sit it made me turn the camera to portrait. Somebody on Reddit says, "Did you get those smart ass worms out of here yet?" Well, what happens is when I take a sample out of my regular culture of these guys, if the sample contains a worm, I don't put this sample back in that culture. I'll put it in another dish and keep them there. And then I don't introduce the worms back in. But I got to tell you, even if you see one worm, if I pull one worm out of that culture, that means they're in there. So the only thing you can hope is that they don't go crazy and reproduce, because not only do they could eat tardigrades. I've never seen one eat a big tardigrade before, but they poop so much, worm poop so much, it pollutes the water. So, and nothing touches the poop, strangely. Amoebas won't eat the poop, nothing eats it, so it just collects and collects. And you gotta, pretty much gotta clean it out. You gotta suck it out with a pipette, and when you do that, you gotta do it, it gets to be a pain. You got to do it with a stereo microscope, and you got to have it so where you got to try not to get any tardigrades when you do it. So it really gets to be a pain. What is it with this stream? Last time I kept crapping out. Let's see, hang on. Now the audio is considered, but the video keeps freezing, then continuing, and just this stream too. That's strange because I'm getting I'm getting a really good upload stream here. If people on YouTube, is the stream freezing on YouTube also, or is it just on Reddit? Yeah, it's more likely I'm gonna see the questions on Reddit, but I can see them on YouTube also. So let me see what the bit rate is going up. Okay, at least on Reddit. Oh, now you see, it's really low on Reddit right now. So this is going to be freezing. Hold on. If you're using OBS, I believe you can put your YouTube information on top of it. Yeah, I have that panacea. I do have my YouTube on there. Reddit can see. I do have that. Stream is okay on YouTube. Okay, so the stream is okay on YouTube. Okay, but on Reddit, you see now. Let me read you the. Yeah, I think it's buffering bad internet. On Reddit, okay, I'm getting 1486 kilobytes up. Now it's 311. Now it's 167. So I have a blazing internet connection right now in this office on Reddit. The fact that the bit stream going up is going up and down, and freezing means something seems to be wrong with either OBS or Reddit itself. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go to speed test. Hang on. And I'm gonna take a speed test on my computer. Reddit's streaming through my computer on OBS. Okay, I'm getting over 300 megabits download speed. So let's see what I'm getting with the upload speed, which is really what counts. Okay, I'm getting horrid upload speed. Even with a good signal from my router, I'm just getting horrid upload speed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go check something out. So that's why it's freezing on here. So now I can't blame Reddit altogether because now, yeah, I'm on my computer. I'm running a Mac, so. But I have a Windows computer, but it's still about the same. Let me go try to do something with my router here. Hang on. So I didn't know, maybe I was, it just went black. Is it black right now? Don't tell me that. Okay, if it's black on YouTube, let me know. Okay, so it's okay on YouTube, thanks. Okay, so I'm getting over 300 download speed now, so let me see what upload speed is, because upload speed is what counts. Okay, there is no way I should be getting only 1.2 upload speed Cox cable. Cox cable is throttling me, no doubt about it. They're throttling my internet upload. And I'm paying for this high upload speed, so they're gonna be in trouble. There is no way they're not throttling me. I got 300, I'm paying for 60 upload. Well, up to 100 max, but I usually get about 60. I'm 10 feet from my router. I'm getting 312 download and 0.86 upload. Cox cable's, Cox cable is, yeah, so Panacea, yeah, it's hard to say if it's me, but I can tell you right now, with this horrid upload speed cable's giving me, that just makes me so mad. I'm gonna test it one more time. Yeah, I'm getting a little faster. They probably heard me. So now I'm getting 30 upload speed. Those dogs. Cox cable spying on me. You can hear me. Yeah, yeah, it might be you. So I hate to use my science time talking about Cox cable. Yeah, somebody said every cable company sucks. You're right about that. My daughter has, now my daughter just got AT&T fiber, and so far that is blazing fast. But of course, I'm not over there uploading and streaming live. So yeah, even on Reddit right now, I'm getting less than 1,000 kilobits upload speed, or bit rate, I should say, bit rate. So Reddit's going to be freezing horribly. Yeah, look, I got to tell you, if I can get to 4,000 hours, so what UV asked, he said, get a business connection much better than residential. That's right. If I can get to 4,000 hours streaming on YouTube, I'll spend more time producing videos and trying to make, even if I made, if here's the deal with these business connections. If I get 4,000 people and I get monetized, and let's say I make $500, in 6 months on YouTube. Well, the tax man's going to want that $500, or they're going to want to tax me on that. So what'll happen is I'll pay the taxes on it, but then I get to write off my internet connection as a loss. so, so there you go. But they're not going to take it if I got to be making some money. But I'm not a tax expert. But if I'm making money on YouTube and using my internet connection to make money, I pay taxes on my YouTube revenue, even if it's dollars, then I get right off some of my internet bill. Yeah, somebody said, I wonder why it's different on Reddit and YouTube, because Reddit is really new to video, and it's really almost they almost like it's just a test. It's really not full blown. So Reddit's really not a live video platform. It's very limited. YouTube's got it refined. So the people on YouTube, on Reddit, if you want to jump over to YouTube, that would help me out. I got 5 people on YouTube and I got 31 on Reddit. So YouTube seems to be less delayed, and some people say it's a little clearer picture, and it's not jumping and jamming. I got 100 megabytes. Yeah, 100 megabits up, and now that's what I'm paying for. I'm paying a ton download speed, which is almost not needed. Uh, I get 100. I'm paying for 100 megabits upload, and I usually through Wi-Fi I usually get about 60. But right now on my Reddit, I'm getting about 10. Yeah, you could tax this. Absolutely. Get a DBA. Yeah, doing business as, file with your county clerk, open a business checking account with. Yeah, yeah. I'm not a businessman, but I do know a little bit, and that's one of the things I know. You get taxed. AT&T has been rolling out 1 gig up and down for $50 a month, but only in some limited areas. I wonder. I wonder if that's what my daughter had. Now, my daughter has. I mean, when I tell you, when I was over there the other day and tested her upload speed, it was well over 300 on my iPhone, and I was about downstairs from the router and on the other side of the house. So that AT&T is blazing. Yeah, see, so somebody said I could even deduct my microscope also. Hey there, oh spaghettios. Yeah, so that's right. But the trick is to make some money. I get donations, and if I get $10 a week, from donations, that's a lot. Uh, but if I get to 4,000 hours and I'm making $1 a day, okay, and then it picks up and I make $20 a day, and then let's say 5 years from now, I have my DIC microscope and making, 20,000 a year. Okay, I know I'm exaggerating, but you get to write all that off. If I'm being taxed on it, I can get new microscopes and write all that off as a loss. Yeah. So what UV? That's right. If I worked, I won't say where I work. I work for an internet company that I do tech support for, and they do. Now, I'm not my own business, but I can still, like, I work for a company, and the IRS allows me to write off even the square footage of my office, you know, and because I'm being taxed and I'm using my house, so they let you off. It's not a ton, but it reduces your tax. Thanks, 64. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's not a free ride, but it cuts some of the. If you're paying for it, then if I make $5,000 one year on microscope and it costs me 3,000 for in supplies and microscopes and electricity and all, then I only pay for $2,000 profit. So, and people, that's what people don't understand about taxes. I don't want to get into politics, but it's not cheating on your taxes if you take in deductions that are legal. It's just not. So I mean, you'd be stupid not to take every deduction. You'd be stupid. The IRS is like a Gestapo, man. And I don't know if you guys heard my story about tardigrades living. Well, they can. This one's living in water. Uh, my work had 10K deductible, and I couldn't. Yeah. This one's living in water, but they usually live in moss or lichens, and they like it wet, but they live everywhere. So yeah, they could live in ponds and stuff. I find mine in mostly dry places like lichen and moss. Now, talking about the IRS, I don't know if y'all heard, but about 4 years ago, me and my wife was buying a house, and the bank asked, they said, "What property do you own in Georgia? What's that property on this, I don't know, Statesboro Street in Georgia?" I said, "I don't own any property. I've never been to Georgia." They said, "Well, you got this property on there. Okay, it's not yours?" No. And that almost messed up buying a house because they didn't know what that was. So I said, "Okay." They said, "Okay, we're not gonna bother with that." And they actually said, "You need to check and see what that is." So anyway, the house, we went through with the house buying and got it. And then I got online. I actually saw it on my credit report. It basically said that I lived I had a house in Statesboro, Georgia. So I investigated a little bit. About a month later, on my credit report, a an account came up for a student loan for $1,500. $1,500. I said, what is this? This was 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years this August. I mean, this May. Okay. So I looked at it and I said, what is this? So I called the student loan people and I said, and it was past due by a month because the person that borrowed it didn't go to school. Okay. They just got the money and didn't show up. So the university told the government, okay, he defaulted on it. So I called the government, Nelnet, and they said, oh, no, this is you. I said, okay. And they said, we need this, that, this, that, this. I mean, it was just too much. So I actually signed up with LifeLock for $200, and it showed up on LifeLock immediately that I had this loan. I'll skip all the details, but after 3.5 years with LifeLock doing 90% of the legwork, police reports, affidavits, signatures, all kind of stuff. It just went back and forth, back and it was disgustingly horrible. And then at one point, somebody at Nelnet or this credit counselor at Nelnet said, can you afford to pay it off? Just pay it. And I said, I'm not paying it. I said, yeah, I got $1,500 in the bank, but I'm not paying this loan. And LifeLock was telling me if it was like Walmart that they committed fraud on, or Target, or a movie theater, or Home Depot, it would have took about 30 days to clear up. And Walmart would have said, okay, this guy was defrauded, we're writing it off, set him free. But since it was the U.S. government, the girl over at LifeLock said, they are going to try to get this money from you. They know they were defrauded. They won't send you signatures. Because they don't have signatures. They did it by electronic signature. So I sent them signatures, everything. And guess what? Yeah, I'm not paying. And the person her name was Stacy at LifeLock. She said, look, when it comes down to it, I'm not going to say what word she used because it's private. She said the IRS, if you don't pay this $1,500, the IRS will, and I'm always paying. I don't ever get a tax refund. Okay, I'm always paying a little at the end. But she said they'll either, if you don't get a refund and they can't hold it out of your taxes, they'll put a lien on your house for $1,500 and they'll take your house. Well, anyway, it went on and on. Finally, after about 3 years, they told me to school. They wouldn't tell me even what school it was, okay? They wouldn't even tell me what school it was because they said I was denying the loan was mine, so they wouldn't tell me what school it was. Well, after LifeLock found out what school it was, I don't know how, but they found out. And sure enough, once it was Capella University. So LifeLock talked with the guy, with some fraud guy at Capella, and then she called me back. She goes, okay, we would need another power of attorney, because I gave LifeLock power of attorney over this account at the Nelnet, but it's a big production. So she said, look, unless you want to do a power of attorney with Capella, go ahead and call them. So I called that guy, and he said, okay, we're looking into it. And sure enough, I sent him everything that's been going on. And let me tell you something, this guy, within a month, within 30 days, which was about 30 days ago, he reversed it. He sent the $1,500 back to the U.S. government for their loan, and Capella took the loss on the fraud. And they apologized and this. So LifeLock paid off. I would have had to quit my job to figure this stuff out. So anyway, 30 days ago, I got the official word that the loan was fraud, and I'm relieved of all debt. But what's strange is LifeLock said, look, this one's eaten. See, he's sucking that. Look. Yeah. So, and the thing was, see what UV, and you could send them a doc demanding to provide proof of your sponsor or remove all report. That's right. And let me tell you, through LifeLock, we got this removed from the credit because I was disputing it. The three credit agencies said, okay, you're disputing this. We're not going to hold it. After the first year, it was off of my credit. But that doesn't matter. The IRS will still come kick your butt. It doesn't matter if it's on your credit or not. They'll put a lien on my house. I hate to say it, but once they put a lien on my house, I would have had to pay it. I would have had to pay it. They're like Nazis. Yeah, I didn't mean to bore you with all that, but if you can, if you got any finances and you own a house, and even if you don't, get get some kind of, I think it's $200 a year for LifeLock, and it was well worth it. And since I had LifeLock in the last 3 years, I've gotten 3 warnings that somebody's trying to open accounts, and they locked it down. So. I had to do so much. I had to do so much. I had to get police reports. I had to get affidavits. I had to go to look. I didn't pay for a lawyer yet, but I had to go get stuff. Put it this way: it cost me about $300 to get a $1,500 lien off my name. But even if you don't have LifeLock for $200, I think on two of the credit reporting agencies, you can lock it down yourself for free. And I think on one of them, I think it might be Experian. I could be mistaken. I think they charge it 20. They might charge $25 a month to lock it, which is strange to me. But it's already paid off. So anyway, back to the. That's why I'm not in finance. It makes me sick. So this guy's in some algae that he really likes to eat. So you could see he's all wound up in there. So that was our identity theft for the day. Yeah, wait. So let me look at Reddit here. Wait. There was the student loan from. What's that got to do with the house in Georgia? The story's clear. Okay, yeah. So everybody told me, well, you know where the guy lives. I'm answering something on Reddit. You have the house in Georgia where this guy's, whoever stole your identity said he lives. Well, LifeLock said, I told LifeLock, I said, man, why don't we just send the police over there? They said, and because I'm a dummy, they said, well, because you used a fake address. So basically, they use a fake address and they say, I live there. And so the people at the fake address were the ones getting the bill from Nelnet saying I owe them money. And they probably telling Nelnet or just throwing the bill in the garbage or saying, I don't know who this guy is. He don't live here, but Nelnet didn't care. So that's not, so even though I had an address, it wasn't real. So yeah, let me see. I got a question on here. Let's see, hang on. See any pregnant tardigrades? I haven't seen any pregnant ones with eggs in them, but I do see eggs. There was an egg right here a minute ago. I can go find it again. Crime killer. Yeah, Legal Shield is a great service for lawyers on call. Yeah, Legal Shield. I talk to lawyers off the record and stuff, and I got to tell you, almost every lawyer, these are friends of mine. This wasn't somebody, I don't know if a lawyer that you didn't know would tell you, but almost everyone, they know my finance. They know I'm not working. Well, I shouldn't say that. I do work paycheck to paycheck, but I have I have a savings. I'm old. I've been working since '84. So I could have paid the 1,500, but guess what? 1,500, I'm saving for a microscope. I don't want to pay $1,500 to some clown. Can all of them get pregnant, or do they have genders? Yeah, no, they have males and females. Yeah, I'm high and chilling right now, crime killer. They have males and females of some species. So, and the species that have males and females, that's right. The females get pregnant. Yeah, so 64, somebody on Reddit, if on 64, I mean, it says if you get mail, let's say if you've been at your house for 10 years or something, and you all of a sudden you get mail that's for John Smith, and it's a bill or a bank statement or from a car company or something like that, you would do John Smith a favor by opening it up. And I don't want to tell you to break the law, but you would do them a favor by opening up that mail and trying to get in touch with them and tell them something's not right. And I'm no lawyer. Yeah, the kitty cat's in here. Yeah. Hey, kitty cat. Yeah, so it was, no, it was a fake address. You can go on Google and look it up. It was definitely a fake address. It was there. I saw the house and everything. I could have took a plane to Georgia and knocked on the door. Yeah, the kitty cat's jealous. Kitty cat, where you at? Yeah, so somebody actually on Reddit said, yeah, this is like a Reddit and YouTube for identity theft fraud. Maybe we could call this guy LifeLock right here. His name's LifeLock. Get him into the action. I named this tardigrade LifeLock, or maybe Stacy over at LifeLock. She helped me for 4 years, almost 3.5 years. Calling the people, calling me back, telling me what I needed to do. It would have been almost impossible. Yeah, LifeLock can. They saved me because if I would have had to pay this $1,500 instead of put it toward a new microscope or something, I'd have puked, man. But like I said, almost every, and they never show up. That's right. Almost every friend, about 4 friends that I had that are lawyers, I think 3 of them told me, look, Kenny, when it comes down to this, you're going to spend more fighting this with a lawyer than it might cost you $3,000 to fight it, and where you can only pay it off for $1,500. And I said, no. I said, I'll wait till they put a lien on my house before I pay it. I'll let them go through all those motions. Thank God it didn't come to that. Yeah, this one's in this algae right here. See these little green things? That's algae. And what this guy will do, you can see his little mouth part. You can barely see it. But if you have some imagination, you could see it in there, and it actually jabs through this stuff. See it right there? And he's sucking the juice out. See him? No, because somebody said, well, if I win, shouldn't the other person? No, because they don't know who the other person is. And if I won from a lawyer, I'm just telling you what these lawyers said, for $1,500. So, if it's going to cost me $3,000, yeah, I guess, I don't know. If it cost me $3,000 to not pay $1,500, then the university or Nelnet should pay the $3,000. But happily, I didn't have to go that far. But it took 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And my credit went from like 820 to 600 and something when it was on there. And once the credit bureaus took it off, once I said it was fraud, it's back up to 830. I always pay my bills on time. So it crashed my credit by almost, 300 points almost. Let's see. It's crazy looking at tardigrades like they're amoeba and the worms too, and act like little creatures. These tardigrades look like full-size animals. Yeah, these tardigrades, I mean, it is an animal shrunk down. I mean, basically that it is. It's an animal with, a couple of million cells in it, 20,000, not millions, 20,000 cells. Yeah, mostly, the only thing that I can come up with that's close to a tardigrade, rotifers are animals also, and they're about the same size as tardigrade. They don't look like animal tardigrades, but the next step up would be a worms, microscopic worms, and those are pretty complicated creatures compared to a tardigrade. Yep. Yeah, 31K. I'd be sick. Tardigrades have somewhere over yeah, some tardigrades have thousands. A lot of species have up to 20,000 cells. So they're pretty complicated little animals. And I just dropped my YouTube address in Reddit. If my friends over at Reddit want to jump over to YouTube. The other day I got uh, an email. Tell me if anybody else got this. And it was basically broken English, number one. Sounded like they were from China, maybe. I'm not sure. It says, and it had my email address. It said, it had my email address, and it said, wait, let me read these. I think it's cool how any living being works just made up of cells to make working machines that can make, yeah, there you go. Let me see what that was. Machines that can make more themselves. That's right. Made up of cells to make working machine. Yeah, it's, and the fact that humans got to where we are is crazy. But I got an email the other day. It says, it said, "Dear Sir," I think it might even use my name, and it had your email address. We have hacked your accounts, and we have seen you. What it says, be careful with who you. What did it say? Masturbate with online. We have the videos, and it is quite embarrassing to you. Please, we will release this in 37 days. We will release it to everybody on your contacts list. If you do not give, and it was some amount, 1,700 euros to Bitcoin. Yeah, there you go. What you Bitcoin scammers? Man, I was cracking up. You emailed back. I was trying to get them on the hook, and have some fun, but the email wasn't even good. It just came back no good. I was gonna, you would think if they had video, just send me. I was gonna tell the guy, hell, man, I need some publicity. I need a sex tape out there. Go ahead and put it out. Every other microscope creature looks like a little alien or robot. Yeah, that's right. It does. But the tardigrade is so unique where you could see its little eyes and mouth and fingers. That's right. You can surely see its eyes, mouth, and legs and fingers. That's right. Damn, 15 years ago they were doing this. They give real crypto wild destination to get suckers to send. That's right. And I got to tell you, if you really, let's say, how do they think? These things have a ganglia. They don't have a brain like you and me, crime killer. At least not like me. But they have ganglia, so they do have a brain. But these are much less intelligent than, say, an earthworm. Earthworms are a little more higher up than these guys. But this one's living it up in this algae right here. Yeah. Yeah, you want to shake his hand? Yeah, I probably had these on my hands before, but I try to be careful and get them back in that water. But if you go work out in your garden and you picking up weeds and stuff out of your garden, you get this stuff under your fingernails. If you had a microscope and you took that dirt out from under your fingernails and put it in some water overnight, you're going to see everything that was living under your fingernails. So. Are they just programmed since they were kids? These have more brain, a lot more brain than those other things you saw in here, those Aliosoma. Where's one at? I'll look around in a minute. But there's some single cell creatures on here that really don't have any kind of brain. They run totally by instinct and by DNA. So there's creatures on here that have brains like this guy and some don't. This right here, let me see real quick. This right here, I don't know if you know what that is. That's a diatom, okay? This is I don't want to say a form of algae, but this thing produces, this is what whales eat, diatoms and krill and stuff like that. So this right here, sometimes you actually see this moving. It's not an animal, but it'll move. And you could see, look right. See that little squiggly thing right there? That's likely bacteria. See this real tiny stuff right here? See that right there? Now you're getting into the bacterial level. Okay? And that's about 1,000 times right here of digital zoom. So you can actually see, get down, cat. Get in. You're shaking you're shaking up my desk. Yeah. Yeah, that's a diatom. All this little tiny stuff, I don't see anything that I can pinpoint exactly as a bacteria, but you could pretty much, this right here, see that right there? That's a chain of, looks like, that's bacteria right there. So now you could say you've seen a living bacteria. And you can see it's in 3 sections, so it's dividing right there. And if you notice how small it is, so that's a bacteria, okay? Where's my tardigrade? Over here. That's a tardigrade. So look at the difference between a bacteria and a tardigrade. Is it true that they are tough to kill? Mr. Nobody, they're not tough to kill like this one. If I put some bleach on here or squish this with my finger, I would squish its guts out and kill it, and it'd be dead. What happens is if I let this slide dry out over a course of a few days, this thing will shrink up and it'll look like an accordion almost, and then it'll shrink up to you won't even notice what it is, okay? It just looks like a speck. And what's in that speck is completely dehydrated. All of its organs and whatever it had is gone. All that's left in there is the instructions to come back. And as soon as you add water, after about 24 hours, it's back. So when they're in that dried out phase, that's when you can send them in space and everywhere else. And they won't get radiated out because there really is nothing to radiate. So they are tough to kill when they're in their ton phase, TUN, but not that you could kill them like this. I mean, just think if I went and got some Clorox, okay? This is about 3 drops of water on here. Well, if I go get 4 drops of Clorox, this guy's history. Is this where life on Earth came from? Well, we have a common ancestor, if you want to talk evolution. So, and these things are 600 million years old. They go back 600 million years, or 400 million. Yeah, 600 million years. So it's 200 million years longer than dinosaurs started. So these things were here 200 million years before dinosaur. Yeah, somebody said it looks like that stuff floating in your eyes. That's right. And basically, in a way, that stuff floating in your eyes is particles. Now, hopefully, it's not particles that are living, but it's half pieces of hair, not hair, but pieces of tissue follicles that are from your retina and other things inside your eye that's floating around in your humor. It's called your vitreous humor in your eye. So when you see stuff floating around, that's actually something floating around. Yeah, 4,000 years ago. I have a couple of friends that are strict Bible believers. You know, they don't argue with me too much. You know, I don't. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. You know, when we were little, we didn't go to church. We basically, you know why we didn't go to church? Because we were too damn poor. My mom had 7 kids. My dad was split. My mom would have had to haul us all on a bus about 4 miles to get to the church that was our church, and we didn't have a church within walking distance. So we were economically deprived of religion. So you can see this tardigrade right here really likes living in, likes this algae. So if you put this slide in a microwave as it is, you'd pretty much kill everything on that slide. Yeah, the microwave would cook this guy in about 10 seconds. As a matter of fact, let me read it. Any of the plants that could have intelligent life would know they are hundreds of thousand million light years away. That's right. We're not going to know. You just you're not going to know. My guess is there's at least bacterial life out there. You know, if there was intelligent life, maybe over the last 13, 14 billion years, they got wiped out. But yeah, if you put this in the microwave, they die. As a matter of fact, I have about 10 pipettes I use to transfer water and stuff from one container to the other. And so I have a clean jar and a dirty jar. When I use it, I put it in the dirty cup. At the end of the day, I might have 20 pipettes in there. And what I'll do is put a little water in each of them, just suck up some water. I'll put it in the microwave for 20 seconds. And that zaps anything. 20 seconds in a microwave on damp pipettes, you sterilizing stuff. Now, is it sterilized, with bacteria? There could be some bacteria that survived it, but none of these creatures. Yeah, how being a man of science as you are, how is it not infuriating your friends you actually believe? Because here's why. One of my friends gave me, well, yeah, if you microwave your water for a minute and 30 seconds, nothing gonna be living in there. And if you microwave for two minutes and get it up to boiling, but microwave is different than boiling, because if you have a creature in there, if you have this inside of a microwave and the water only gets up to 100, 100 Fahrenheit, well, that's not boiling to kill this. But those microwaves are zapping or cooking this thing from the inside, so it's dead. So somebody gave me a book one time called The Cosmos and the Creator, and go look it up. And it's a physicist that, a physical scientist, a space scientist basically, who goes over all the stuff that had to be exactly perfect for life to form here and for humans to exist. And if any one of those was like a billionth of a whatever you degree one way or the other, then life wouldn't go. So he didn't make a case for a 4,000-year-old Earth or a God. He just thinks there's some intelligent design. That's different than thinking the Earth is 4,000 years old. Basically, it comes down even without that's Pokemon. My granddaughter, she's got about 15 more minutes on the computer, so that's amazing. You can hear that. But even if we didn't have a moon, okay, let's say we don't have a moon on Earth. scientists say, well, then the the earth, the water wouldn't slosh back and forth into ponds. You needed to get life and DNA and amino acids into fresh water and or salt water in these little pools that could could get out of where and assemble. They couldn't assemble in a big ocean. They had to get in small pools. So tides even played the part into. So tides from the moon even played a part in evolution. And it goes on and on. If the Big Bang expanded, 1 millionth of a percent faster, then hydrogen atoms would have been too far apart to clump together ever, and it would just expand it forever without clumping together. If it was too slow, if it was 1/10,000th of a percent too slow, then heavy metals would have been formed faster, and no stars would have formed, something like that. So you got to kind of. That's why I can put up with them when they don't ever challenge me on evolution, but I don't care. I read Alpha rays from space can hit your PC and flip bits. Yeah, alpha rays. Yeah. If they make it through the atmosphere, they can hit you. Intelligent design. Why do I get stuck with one hole for eating, breathing, and communicating, but whales and dolphins? I don't know. But if and she won, they recounted the votes. She had like 10. What is that? Let me see. Also gave a lady an election. Yeah, did it? Gave that would be something if somebody won an election from alpha particles, huh? Okay, it's been about 70 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab my granddaughter and tell her to come in here. We're gonna have to take a break from Pokemon. So go ahead and watch this. I'm gonna zoom out a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay. She went 5 more minutes, so we'll do 5 minutes. So I'm gonna hit the road in a little bit, and we're gonna go out and get some exercise. But you can see this tardigrade right here is really healthy. Look at all that green inside of him. So they do have a sort of a primitive digestive system. So you could see this one's loves being on this, and you could see him eating that stuff. He's sucking the juice out of it, and that's what that green stuff is inside of him. See that green? So this one's been having a good time on this hunk of algae for over an hour. Yeah, thanks, Mick. And I've had about an average of 5 viewers for about an hour. So that's about 5 hours of YouTube time. So thanks for that. Yeah, these tardigrades, they living it up. I think they're doing better in my jaw than on the side of a tree. See, look, he's sucking the juice out. You can actually see it happening. See that little poker? See how it goes back and forth? He's eating right now. You're seeing him eat. Look, check it out. So you're watching the tardigrade eat, and you hear my kitty cat jealous. You jealous, kitty cat? Yeah, thanks, Crime Killer. Yeah, come back whenever you see me, for sure. I don't know if I'll be on tonight again. I always say I will, but then I get busy. Yeah, so panacea, yeah. So you got to see this one eaten. And each one of those green round things is an algae that has nourishment in it. And you can see, look inside of it. See, you can see it's almost the exact same kind. Yeah, his tongue breaks the wall and then he slurps it. That's right. It's not a tongue, it's like some kind of mineral that's hard, and it does. It goes in there and he sucks the juice out. And if you look at the color inside of him and look at the color of those things. So, if you had any doubt that he was feeding on this stuff, that doubt is gone. So there you go. I hear you're jealous, huh, you kitty cat? You jealous? Let's see, is that a water bear? Yeah, that's a water bear. Yep, that is, you said, the scientific name my brain can't use right now. He can't lie about what he ate. That's right. He can't lie about what he ate, that's for sure. And I know he's been eating this stuff. That's why he don't want to move. He likes it right here. So he's bent up on that. Look, he's not giving up on it. Look, there you go. He got some. Come on, give him a show. Yeah, they transparent because there's nothing. They remember they have certain number of cells. You're not transparent because of your skin and melanin and different things on your skin. These things don't have a skin. They call it a cuticle, so it's clear. And in the grand scheme of things, it's probably best for them to be clear, so they harder to see from worms and stuff. Okay, 72 minutes. I'm gonna go to 75 minutes. So about 2 or 3 more minutes, and I'm gonna hit the road on both streams. This guy's been good. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if you'd be transparent because you got so much stuff inside of you. Everything would have to be transparent. Some people have transparent brains. But if you could do stuff, there's stuff. I don't know if you read about the Radium Girls in the what was it, in the 1930s maybe. Radium Girls, they worked in that radium factory putting radium on watch dials, and they were instructed to lick the brush to make it a point and put it on the watch dials. Supposedly they had so much radium in their body that they glowed at night. Their skin glowed. Yeah, I'd like to see an egg hatch. That would be awesome. You really have to get lucky to see them because remember, the only time I see eggs is when they're on the slide. If I find eggs and I put them on a slide, I would have to come back like every 6 hours and drop some more water on the slide. Okay, so it doesn't dry up. And there's just no way I can be around here every 6 hours on the nose and remember. So they would just dry up. So if I ever see one that I think is going to hatch, I'll do a time lapse on it. Okay, 75 minutes. So I'm gonna hit the road, enjoy this guy, and let me get a good. So I'm gonna end Reddit first, and then I'm gonna end YouTube. Okay, so thanks for coming on Reddit. I didn't have too many viewers today, but we might do it later on. I'll keep my my setup here. Hang on. Let me get my donation page up on Reddit. Hang on. And then end it. Let's see. Okay, Reddit is off. So I'm gonna go about it. All right, thanks. So subscribe, and when you see me later, come back on. And if you can, go check out my. I think I have a microscope group, or what do you call it, playlist. If you're doing dishes or washing the car or something, just put that playlist on and watch it, and I'll get. Yeah, I know. Careful with music. YouTube. That's right. That's why I don't play music anymore. I used to play music on the background, but every time I do, I get a warning, even if it's just, coming over the TV or something. So you don't want that. So, okay, so we're going to hit the road. Thanks for watching. 3, 2, 1. Let me get a focus and then we'll go. Yeah, I know. Hey, Crime Killer, that is stupid. But did you see the skater? The skaters in the Olympics and the U.S. team are getting sued by some two guys that write music, that the skater used their music as a skating routine, and the freaking people are suing them. Yeah, the background may be harmful. Okay, gang. So thanks a lot. Send me a personal message or a direct message if you need any info. Thanks. Bye.